Hello and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the headlines. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh briefs Rajya Sabha on the situation along the line of actual control, holds China squarely responsible for the standoff in Ladakh, reiterates government's commitment to protect India's integrity and sovereignty. The country stands with the Indian Army. Opposition parties speak as one after the Defence Minister's statement in the Upper House. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu says, Indian culture based on the ideals of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Rajya Sabha concludes discussion on India's response to the coronavirus pandemic. Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan responds to queries by various members. Assures House that all efforts are being made to bring an effective COVID-19 vaccine as soon as possible to the people of the country. Lok Sabha discusses two bills aimed at making farming profitable. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar gives assurance that the minimum support price mechanism for farmers will continue and it will not be impacted by the legislations. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi turns 70 today. BJP marks it by celebrating Seva Saptah till the 20th of September. President and the Vice President lead the country in wishing the Prime Minister. World leaders also send in their best wishes. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Thursday apprised the Upper House about the developments on India's borders in Ladakh. He affirmed that China has been unequivocally conveyed India's stance on the situation. It's been made clear to China, both at diplomatic and military levels, that changing the status quo unilaterally at the line of actual control is completely unacceptable.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh told the Rajya Sabha that massing troops by China and the violent conduct of its military violated all mutually agreed norms and pacts. He said it was made clear to the Chinese Defence Minister in Moscow recently that although India wants to resolve the row peacefully, there should be no doubt about its determination to protect its sovereignty and territorial integrity.
देश हित में हमें कितना ही बड़ा और कितना ही कड़ा कदम उठाना पड़े सभापति महोदय, हम पीछे नहीं हटेंगे। मैंने स्पष्ट तरीके से हमारी चिंताओं को चीनी पक्ष के सामने रखा है, जो उनकी बड़ी संख्या में ट्रूप्स की तैनाती, आक्रामक रवैया और एक तरफा स्टेटस को बदलने की कोशिश से संबंधित था। इन सब सारे मुद्दों को अपने काउंटर पार्ट के सामने हमने रखा है और मैंने दो टूक शब्दों में यह स्पष्ट किया कि हम इस मुद्दे को शांतिपूर्ण ढंग से हल करना चाहते हैं और हम चाहते हैं कि चीनी पक्ष हमारे साथ मिलकर काम करे। वहीं हमने यह भी स्पष्ट कर दिया कि हम भारत की एकता, संप्रभुता और अखंडता की रक्षा के लिए पूरी तरह से प्रतिबद्ध हैं। यह भी हमने पूरी तरह से स्पष्ट कर दिया।
On the clashes in Galwan Valley, the Defence Minister said the Chinese side created a violent face-off and our brave soldiers laid down their lives and also inflicted costs, including casualties, on them. The Defence Minister also gave details about the 5-point agreement between External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi in Moscow on 10th of September. He assured that if this is implemented sincerely by the Chinese side, it could lead to complete disengagement and restoration of peace in the border areas.
हमने चाइनीज साइड के साथ डिप्लोमेटिक और मिलिट्री एंगेजमेंट बनाए रखा है। इन डिस्कशंस में 3 की प्रिंसिपल्स हमारी अप्रोच को सभापति महोदय तय करते हैं। पहला, दोनों पक्ष को एलएसी का सम्मान और कड़ाई से पालन करना चाहिए। फर्स्ट, सेकंड, किसी भी पक्ष को अपनी तरफ से यथास्थिति का यानी स्टेटस को का उल्लंघन करने का प्रयास नहीं करना चाहिए। थर्ड, दोनों पक्षों के बीच सभी समझौतों और अंडरस्टैंडिंग्स का पूर्णतया पालन करना चाहिए। चाइनीज साइड की यह पोजीशन है कि स्थिति को एक जिम्मेदार ढंग से हैंडल किया जाना चाहिए और द्विपक्षीय समझौतों एवं प्रोटोकॉल के अनुसार शांति एवं स्थिरता सुनिश्चित किया जाना चाहिए।
The defense minister said China doesn't recognize the traditional and customary alignment of the boundary. He added that even though the situation this year was very different, both in terms of the troops involved and the number of friction points, India remains committed to a peaceful solution. After the defense minister's remarks, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu asserted that the country must speak in one voice on the issue of national security and integrity. He also suggested that the government must hold a meeting with leaders of different parties to apprise them of the situation and take them into confidence.
मैं सभापति के नाते एक व्याख्या करना चाहता हूँ देशवासियों के लिए और पूरा विश्व के लिए भी। भारत का परंपरा, भारतीय संस्कृति हमेशा वसुधैक कुटुंबकम, सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु। हमारा पूरा इतिहास में हजारों साल में हमने कभी भी किसी देश के ऊपर हमला किया नहीं, एक ऐसा कोई उदाहरण भी नहीं है। ये हमारा परंपरा है, इसी परंपरा को हम आगे रख रहे हैं।
Thanking the members for expressing solidarity with the Jawans, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh assured them that the armed forces will continue patrolling as they have always done. He also stressed that operational sensitivities of the armed forces have to be respected.
आज इस सदन ने पूरे देश को यह आश्वस्त कर दिया कि चाहे चुनौती कितनी भी बड़ी क्यों न हो, समस्त देशवासी एकजुट होकर उसका मुकाबला करने की कुव्वत रखते हैं, उसका मुकाबला करेंगे। भारत के सेना के जवानों को पेट्रोलिंग करने से दुनिया की कोई ताकत नहीं रोक सकती। यदि हमारे जवानों ने अपना बलिदान दिया है तो इसीलिए बलिदान दिया है, और इसमें कोई परिवर्तन इस पेट्रोलिंग पैटर्न में नहीं होगा।
Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The discussion on the COVID-19 pandemic and the steps taken by the government concluded in the Rajya Sabha on Thursday. Responding to various queries and demands for clarification by members of the upper house, Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan said India has ramped up its COVID-19 testing facility from just one laboratory in January this year to more than 1,700, and citizens anywhere can access a laboratory within just a few hours of travel time. He added that the coronavirus-induced lockdown was utilized to quickly augment healthcare infrastructure in the country to fight the rising COVID-19 cases.
एक लेबोरेटरी, ये कहने के लिए, सुनने के लिए तो सिंपल सी बात है कि एक लेबोरेटरी थी और उससे आज 1700 से ज़्यादा हो गई। लेकिन लॉकडाउन के पीरियड के अंदर ये 1700 लेबोरेटरीज को देश के अंदर सारी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स के सिस्टम्स के अंदर एस्टैब्लिश करने के लिए सब प्रकार की सुविधा, सब प्रकार के किट्स, सब प्रकार की मशीनें, इसको ICMR ने देश भर में उपलब्ध कराया। आज 3 किलोमीटर के दायरे के अंदर देश में कहीं पर भी चले जाएं, और आप सोचिए जब लॉकडाउन का पीरियड था, कोई हवाई जहाज नहीं चल रहे थे, कोई सामान को एक स्थान से दूसरे स्थान तक पहुंचाने की सुविधा नहीं थी, लेकिन उन परिस्थितियों के अंदर रीजनल डिपोज खोल के और जगह जगह किस प्रकार से किट्स को पहुंचाया।
Dr. Harsh Vardhan said India's proactive and graded multi-level institutional response to COVID-19 had made it possible to have low number of cases and deaths per million. He reiterated that the central government brought great relief to farmers and the poor through the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana.
इस बीमारी से बचने के लिए वायरस केवल क्योंकि ह्यूमन शरीर के अंदर ही जीवित रहता है और एक बार हमारे शरीर में प्रवेश करके दूसरे के शरीर में वो जाने की जब प्रयास करता है, क्योंकि थोड़े दिन के बाद एक शरीर के अंदर वो डेड हो जाता है, दूसरे शरीर में जब तक वो लाइव है, जब वो जाता है, उस चेन ऑफ ट्रांसमिशन को हमको कट करना है। और उस चेन ऑफ ट्रांसमिशन को कट करने के लिए जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है, जिसके बारे में मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि इस सदन के अंदर भी इसके लिए आग्रह भी किया जा रहा है कि ये जो मास्क है, ये शायद हमारी सबसे बड़ा हमारा रक्षक है।
Members cutting across party lines participated in the discussion that lasted for over 4 hours across 3 days. During the discussion, members from various political parties made different suggestions to the government and also sought clarifications. Let's listen in.
was that while the health minister has spoken at length about the medical measures which have been taken to fight COVID-19, is there some guideline, a national guideline, which, giving the norms of federalism intact, can be followed so that the people really know and the administration knows what exactly it is to do?
In the fight against COVID, other matters are also very important. The social impact, economic impact, human impact, all such matters are missing in this statement. That's a humble remark I want to make in this regard. How can the government forget about the migrant laborers who were dying on the roads on those days? They are the martyrs of the COVID, sir. They are the martyrs. What measures we took to support them, to ensure their survival? Sir, a responsive government has a duty to take its concern for the poor.
Further, sir, to assist the patient, a system of help desk by the Arogya Mitra have been set up in Andhra Pradesh. Sir, Andhra Pradesh state government has planned to spend a whopping 15,337 crores for overhauling the entire state of healthcare infrastructure. Just in the first phase, more than 4,900 out of total 7,458 health subcenters will get new buildings, while the rest 2,552 will be modernized, sir.
Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu made some key observations on Thursday regarding the smooth conduct of proceedings in the upper house. He said the deputy chairman or the panel of vice chairmen should follow guidelines while presiding over the proceedings. He asked members, the leader of opposition and other party leaders to ensure that allocated time limits are respected while making submissions. The emphasis on sticking to time allocation coincides with the fact that the House sits for only 4 hours a day and the other House takes over in the afternoon.
Sometimes what the deputy chairman says or the panel chairman says may not be out to our liking. But please understand there are rules, there are precedents, and there is a guidance by the chair to the presiding chairperson at the time. He has to follow it scrupulously. Chairman will tell the member 1 minute before, please conclude. If the member do not adhere to that, waiting for another half a minute, then he will be calling the next person.
And Chairman Naidu also reminded members about the measures that need to be followed to contain the spread of COVID-19. The conduct of the monsoon session this year is unique in view of the many precautions that have been taken, advising members to be mindful of time management. The chairman also told new members that they will get time for maiden speech in the normal session of Parliament. He also directed members to be seated while making their submissions.
Some of the members are lowering the mask. Lowering the mask means guard. It's quite but natural because you feel more comfortable and all. I'm not finding fault with them, but please, camera is on, live coverage is going on, and if it's shown on TV, and then selectively some people see only headlines and then there will be reaction. Please keep this in mind. Try to keep the mask on as long as you are in the house. Because of the mic system, sound system and all, both myself and speaker, we came to the conclusion that members will be made to sit and speak. So please keep that also in mind.
The Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020 and the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020 are being discussed in Lok Sabha. Moving the bill, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said the minimum support price mechanism for farmers will continue and that it will not be impacted by the two legislations. Tomar said the bills are aimed at making farming profitable. He further assured that these proposed legislations would not encroach upon the Agricultural Produce Marketing Committee Acts of the states. The minister, in fact, also added that these two bills will ensure that farmers get better prices for their produce.
यह जो दोनों विधेयक हैं, ये खेती को मुनाफे में लाने वाले, किसान को आज़ादी दिलाने वाले और खेती को उन्नत बनाने के लिए भारत सरकार का एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम है। इस विधेयक के माध्यम से किसान को अपनी उपज किसी भी स्थान से किसी भी व्यक्ति को बेचने का अधिकार होगा और मंडी की परिधि के बाहर जो भी व्यापार होगा उस पर ना राज्य का कोई टैक्स होगा और ना ही केंद्र सरकार का कोई टैक्स होगा।
And time for a very short break here, but more news and updates will continue on the other side. Do stay with us.
Watch The Big Picture with me, Vishal Dahiya, at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha TV.
Mihir Sen, an outstanding and extraordinary saltwater swimmer of India. He is the first Asian to swim the English Channel way back in 1958. And just 8 years later, in 1966, he swam the 7 seas of the 5 continents in 1 calendar year, which etched his name in the Guinness Book of World Records. In 1959, he was also conferred the Padma Shri, and in 1967, he was awarded the Padma Bhushan.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching News Tonight. Birthday wishes poured in for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who turned 70 today.
President Ramnath Kovind extended his greetings to Prime Minister Modi, saying he has presented an ideal in showing commitment to India's life values and democratic traditions. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said Prime Minister Modi has made tireless efforts to take the country to new heights and asserted that his work will pave the way for India to become self-reliant. Home Minister Amit Shah said Prime Minister Modi is loved by everyone. Modi, he said, has dedicated his entire life for the welfare of the country and is laying the foundation of strong and self-reliant India, adding that he has connected deprived sections of the society with mainstream of development. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said India has benefited tremendously from his astute leadership, firm conviction and decisive action. Congress President Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi also extended their wishes to the Prime Minister on his 70th birthday. Leaders across the political spectrum, chief ministers and governors of states also wished the Prime Minister on Twitter. In a series of tweets, BJP President JP Nadda said, under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, India moved swiftly on the path of progress and raised its stature at the world stage. He said Prime Minister Modi's life is dedicated to nation building and he is an inspiration for all party workers. JP Nadda also released a book, Lord of Records, which highlights 243 unprecedented achievements of the Modi government. The BJP organized nationwide events mainly aimed at public service to celebrate the Prime Minister's birthday.
And birthday greetings for Prime Minister Modi also came in from the world leaders. Russian President Vladimir Putin, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, and Bhutanese Prime Minister Lotte Tshering were among the world leaders who extended their wishes to Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's life is a story of many unparalleled achievements. As a leader of the masses, his ideas and thoughts derive from his own life experiences. Even as political commentators and biographers try to decode his hold over the masses, one of the most striking features has been his communication with people. On his 70th birthday, Member of Parliament Swapan Das Gupta tells us how Prime Minister Modi has changed the rules of communication itself.
मेरा सभी देशवासियों से ये आग्रह है कि आने वाले कुछ सप्ताह तक जब बहुत जरूरी हो तभी अपने घर से बाहर निकलें। हमारे परिवार में जो भी सीनियर सिटीजन्स हो, 60-65 वर्ष की आयु के ऊपर के व्यक्ति हो, वो आने वाले कुछ सप्ताह तक घर से बाहर न निकलें।
And just with those words, Prime Minister Narendra Modi prepared over 1 billion people for a nationwide lockdown. Be it through his monthly radio broadcast Mann Ki Baat or his messages on Twitter, political observers of any description will agree that Prime Minister Modi's outreach is phenomenal.
Find two things. One is that Mr. Modi has one way of talking during an election campaign where he's a little more strident, because that's the nature of the whole political exercise. But when he assumes the mantle of prime ministership, he's a completely different person altogether. And that's where the sense of gravitas comes in. But what I would like to emphasize more than anything else is that Narendra Modi does not use the traditional idioms, the traditional imagery. He often charts out a very, very different track for himself. So what we find, someone else might say, oh, how can we even consider doing that? He just takes a very, very different and a very unique position. And he manages to communicate that. Whether he's talking to children, whether he's talking to juvenile people, or whether he's talking to a group of politicos, where in Parliament it's one form of Narendra Modi, where in a international fora it's another form of thing. And it's the communicator is that he's not in one mold. He's a man, in many senses, he's a Bahurupi.
In fact, Prime Minister Modi has used communication strategy to set the governance agenda.
He was among the very first who used social media to his advantage. He understood its importance, he cottoned on to it very, very early, much before most other politicians had become completely sensitized to it. And I think in that sense, he, in the business of communication, when someone would actually analyze him, you will find that he is a pioneer in the field of political communications. He just, somehow there is a certain instinctive grasp he has about what will sell and what won't sell. I think that ability for a politician is remarkable, and that's the biggest gift you can actually have.
As a master communicator, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inspires and motivates. His speeches speak to people with optimism, showing them the brighter side of things, making them achievable. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV. India on Thursday said China should sincerely work with it for complete disengagement of troops at the earliest from all friction areas along the line of actual control. Briefing the media, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Anurag Srivastava expressed hope that the Chinese side would respect and observe the line of actual control commitments and not make further attempts to unilaterally change the status quo along the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh.
There should be a quick and complete disengagement of troops from all friction areas along the LAC. Both sides should therefore focus on easing tensions in the friction areas by refraining from any actions that may lead to an escalation in the situation. This requires strict adherence to the bilateral agreements and protocols and not making unilateral attempts to change the status quo.
Talking about the COVID-19 situation in the country, active cases in India have crossed 10 lakh, while the recoveries have crossed 40 lakh. Here's a report.
COVID-19 cases in India crossed 51.8 lakh after a record daily jump of 97,894 new cases in the last 24 hours. India reported 1,132 deaths linked to the virus, taking the total fatalities in the country to 83,198. Active cases have crossed 10 lakh, while over 40 lakh patients have recovered. The recovery rate stands at 78.64%. Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu reported the highest single-day increase in cases in the last 24 hours. Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal reported the highest number of deaths in the last 24 hours. Delhi reported the highest single-day spike on Wednesday as 4,473 fresh cases were reported in the national capital. The national capital has seen an increase of 45% in the number of containment zones in the last 10 days. Delhi's COVID-19 tally now stands at 2.3 lakh. Sample testing in the country has crossed 6 crores. Over 11 lakh samples were tested on Wednesday alone. As India and the world grapples with the deadly novel coronavirus, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in the United States has described face masks as the most powerful public health tool in the fight against the disease. CDC Director Robert Redfield said the pandemic could be brought quickly under control if face masks were adopted universally, as it offered much better protection against the infection than a vaccine. India is the second worst hit country globally in terms of the total cases after the US, and in the third spot in fatalities after the United States and Brazil. Nearly 3 crore people are infected globally, out of which 9.4 lakh people have died. Over 2 crore people have recovered. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan said on Thursday that we need to focus on creating effective health systems for improved pandemic preparedness. He added the current pandemic and the global crisis arising out of that highlights more than ever the need for national and global solidarity. The minister was addressing the joint G20 Finance and Health Ministers meeting via video conference.
Flattening the curve globally will require international, multi-sectoral collaborative efforts to ensure that health systems across the world are able to maintain sufficient capacity to address the flux of complicated COVID-19 cases and protect the vulnerable and elderly in the world population. We need to focus on creating effective health systems for improved pandemic preparedness.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for global solidarity in tackling the challenges posed by the coronavirus pandemic. Referring to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Guterres warned that the organization is facing the 1945 moment. He urged countries to work together to overcome the pandemic.
In this 75th anniversary year, we face our own 1945 moment. We must meet that moment, and we must show unity like never before to overcome today's emergency, get the world moving and working and prospering again, and uphold the vision of the Charter.
The 75th session of United Nations General Assembly opened on Wednesday, with leaders meeting virtually for the first time since its inception. The UN was established after World War II with the aim of preventing future wars, succeeding the ineffective League of Nations. Currently, the UN has 193 members, representing almost all of the world's sovereign states. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time. Good night.